AITA for telling off my friend who can't mind her own business. Original post. I'm pissed over this, so please tell me if this makes no sense. I, 22F, have been with my incredible girlfriend Lane, 22F, for just over a year now. I introduced her to all my friends about 4 months in, and since then she's been hanging out with us, 7 including me, regularly. So, I have a friend, Freya, 23F, who is kind of nosy. For a couple weeks, Lane has been out of town. Before anyone asks, she didn't want me to come. I offered, but she said she just needed to do this alone. For family issues I won't spill here, and Freya has been nagging me like crazy about it. Me and my friends all go to the same university, and we hang out pretty much every day, so I can't avoid her. First, I thought it started with honest concern. I told her what I said before, that she's out of town for some family stuff. Plain and simple. Subtly trying to get the idea across that it's none of her fucking business. She accepted that for all of one day. She then amped it up to pressing about exactly what the family thing is. I just kept shutting her down, calmly asking her to drop it, saying that Lane doesn't want her stuff being aired out like that, which she had explicitly told me. But she just wouldn't take no for an answer. Just kept insisting that it was fine if she knew, and I would just ignore her. Last night was my last straw. We were hanging out at a local bar when Lane called me. I told my friends I'd be back in a bit and went outside to take it. Lane was pretty upset, so I told her I'd get a cab and go home so I could fully focus on her. I quickly went back into the bar to tell my friends I had to go. Mind you, I still had Lane on the line because I was only anticipating for it to take a minute. I just said something like, "Hey guys, but I gotta go, see you later," and pointed at the ongoing call. Freya, who was dead sober, decided it was a great idea to try to grab my phone from my hand, yelling questions at Lane. I backed up and held the phone to my chest, completely surprised because seriously, what the fuck? I yelled at her to back off and told her my girlfriend's personal stuff was none of her business. She spluttered for a second, everyone else just staring at us bewildered before I just left. I talked to Lane on the way home and told her what happened, but said it was no big deal RN and refocused the conversation on what she needed to talk about. By the time I got home, I had turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and was FaceTiming Lane, so I didn't see the messages from my friends until today. Freya was pissed that I yelled at her, and 2 of our other friends, Toby, 23M, and Clay, 22M, shared the same sentiment of me embarrassing Freya by getting so angry at her when she was just worried about Lane. The rest of my friends are asking me if I was okay and siding with me. I just want to know, despite my friends and Lane telling me Freya was totally weird for it, did I overreact? I'm starting to feel a bit guilty. I never ever yell like that. People's opinions. NTA. Freya tried to take your phone to ask invasive questions about something that has nothing to do with her. I would definitely keep my distance. You know the truth. Freya wasn't just worried about Lane. She is a nosy busybody who inserts herself into situations she shouldn't. I hope your GF's family issues work out in the best possible way. Good luck to you and Lane. NTA, if Freya is really close enough to your GF to be let in on what she's going through, then surely she's close enough to have her phone number. Clearly either she doesn't or your GF isn't answering her invasive questions. And attempting to grab someone's phone out of their hand when you know they're in the middle of a sensitive phone call is just out of touch and screams main character syndrome to me. NTA, Freya needs to write on off. You have told her repeatedly that your GF's family crisis is private. If she wanted Freya or anybody else to know, she would have shared it with them. I would let your friends know privately that she has badgered you repeatedly for information your GF once kept private, and last night was the last straw. Your GF was upset, and Freya was acting like she was entitled to know what was going on, and if your friends still think you were in the wrong, maybe it's time for some new friends. NTA, maybe Toby and Clay need to be told exactly how she has been harassing you about what is happening so that they can see this is not the first, second, or even third time you have tried to shut this behavior down and to get her to mind her own business. That if Freya was so worried, she would have reached out to Lane directly. If she already had and Lane had not told her what is happening, then it clearly means she doesn't want her to know. At this point, she is just harassing you and Lane just to find out the gossip because she doesn't like being left out, and when she is called out for her behavior, she is turning it around to make you look like the bad guy, all under the guise of caring. NTA. Freya isn't for and knows what the word no means. If you ask and receive a no or no I'm not telling or any other rejection of their request involving the word no, it means it's time to stop asking. She wasn't concerned about your girlfriend. If she was, she'd have respected the first drop it. If she's going to act like a stubborn child in public, she should expect to be treated like one. Your other friends taking her side are embarrassed because they think a scene was made, but are absolutely wrong about who made the scene. Would Freya have backed off and stopped had you not yelled at her? Probably not. Freya's actions are what caused the situation, and the group of them can go ahead and pout in the concern about it. NTA. This is exactly the same reaction I would have TBH. I have a lot of phone-related trauma. Parent taking my phone, looking through everything, monitoring my calls and texts, etc. And even when my husband tries to grab my phone to get my attention, I often recoil and yell at him. We've been together almost 12 years. She had no business doing that, and the only reason anyone would defend that is if she has been crossing boundaries like that around them for a long time, and no one has stood up to her about it. She has no business knowing what's going on with you, GF, unless your GF wants to tell her herself. People like her suck.